What's up, guys? Zach Ginn here. In today's video, I'm going to give you the ultimate cash buyer dispositions guide today on exactly how to sell your deals in under 24 hours in real estate wholesaling. This is going to be a really fun, exciting one, guys, today, because I'm going to show you how to sell your deals exactly, how to just become the king or queen of dispositions in your real estate wholesaling operations. I'm jacked up. I'm excited today. Guys, let's break down exactly how to cash buyers, how to pull your cash buyers, how to dispo all your deals in exactly the right way on how to sell your deals for massive profits in your real estate wholesaling operations. I'm telling you, in these crazy times in real estate wholesaling, especially coming up in crazy market cycles, especially ones that we're seeing in the future, dispositions and cash buyers is probably going to be one of the most important pieces of the pie for success in your real estate wholesaling operations. But here's the problem. I got to get you jacked up to get ready. So without further ado, cue the intro. Let's break down cash buyers and dispositions. Let's get it. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, again, they got go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
Oh, yeah. Come on, guys. I got to jack you up with a song. Come on, let's get it, guys. So, guys, today we're breaking down how to sell your real estate wholesaling deal for massive profits in your real estate wholesaling operations. So, without further ado, let's kind of break down the ultimate cash buyers and dispositions guide today, and let's break it down. So, number one, we're kind of breaking things down, guys. This is day 24 of the real estate wholesaling 30-day challenge. But also, if you're coming in for the challenge, welcome. But if you are here just to see the content on this, this is going to help you. You don't have to be in the challenge to learn dispositions like this, but do recommend everybody in the description below in this video actually go out here and see the 30-day challenge. The link is in the playlist below. But let's kind of break down exactly how to get it going. So, guys, today I'm going to break down exactly how to sell your wholesaling real estate deals for top dollar to your cash buyers, how to find cash buyers, and exactly how to assign your real estate contracts the right way in real estate wholesaling. So we are on day 24, and we're going to break down exactly how to sell it, how to sell your deals for top dollar for the best success possible. So number one, let's talk with beginners here, because I know we got a lot of questions on the channel here. Dispositions, right? Dispositions, what is the definition of it? In my personal opinion, dispositions is the opposite of acquisitions. And I don't like saying the definition of a word in a word, but acquisitions is acquiring a property, actually putting it in the company, right? And actually selling that deal. Dispositions is deposing, getting rid of, throwing it away, just get rid of it, right? Dispositions is kind of in the word, but it's basically us trying to sell our real estate wholesaling contract, so our contract on the deal, for a profit to a cash buyer. Think of it as flipping something, like a garage sale flipping. I used to do garage sale flipping, where I would buy, I used to do this, I'd buy like a comic book, right? And so I would buy, I used to do this, I used to buy a comic book in 2015, 2016. I knew, for example, there's going to be before I got into wholesaling, I knew there was going to be an Avengers movie and another Avengers movie. I think this was Age of Ultron, right? So for example, I used to buy these, I used to buy comic books like this, like an Avengers one. This was Ultra Force. That's not the right one, but I would buy an Avengers comic, right? And I knew that there's going to be a movie, right? So I'd buy that comic for $5, pretty cheap. And then I would be able to sell it for $200 if it had Ultron in it. So it was pretty crazy. Todd says there's a sound issue, so I'm going to try to confirm this and see if there's any audio issues here. I don't think so, but just going to make sure that we don't have it. I don't want to ruin anything here. Yeah. All right. Audio's working. Just making sure, guys. But like, for example, like I knew that comic book, for example, was going to have a movie. It was actually going to be like really valuable. So I bought it for like $5 and then I sold it on eBay for like 50 to $100. And those worked really, really well. Now that's kind of like inside information I got. So that's like, it might not pertain to wholesaling so much. But it's like me knowing something's worth something. So like, for example, I know a house is worth $100,000, right? And I know I can get on a contract for 80. So I'm going to sell it for 100, knowing I can make 20 on it. So that's the point in real estate wholesaling. Again, we put a property on contract, then we sell it for a massive profit. So let's kind of break down why I love having a lot of cash buyers. Let's kind of break this down. Also, Todd is literally a beast in Richmond. He's an amazing wholesaler. But why I love having a lot of cash buyers. Number one, you can sell these deals for more money. And this is one big thing I'm always telling you guys, why to have a massive cash buyers list and massive vetted cash buyers list. Number one, you can sell these deals for a ton of money. And this is bringing back to the point of like, what is dispositions? We are selling our wholesaling contract for a profit to a cash buyer, which is a landlord or a flipper, at a discount. We sell our deals at a discount. You know, we're not trying to bid them up for the craziest, especially in times like these. We still are to a point, but not at a point where no one makes money. We still want our cash buyers to make money. So if we're selling our deals, we want to have a lot of cash buyers. So this means, again, that means I get to have multiple people. So like I'm selling that comic book, for example, I would rather try to sell to 100 people versus just 3 people, because that 3 people could not want to buy it for a certain price. Remember, people buy things based on what they're willing to buy it for, not the intrinsic value of it. One example of why I like having a lot of cash buyers is, let's say you are in the desert, right? We got Las Vegas in the background here, right? So let's say somebody's been hiking in Las Vegas and they got lost and they've been in the desert for 8 hours, right? And they're a millionaire, right? Let's say I have 100 millionaires in the desert, right? And I know that for these let's say 100 millionaires, 95 millionaires all brought their waters. They drank a gallon of water. They hiked. They're fine, right? I got these 5 ones that are all millionaires. They make millions of dollars per year and they're stuck in the desert for 8+ hours. And I offer to sell them a bottle of water. And they all got $1 million cash, right? Those 5 people out of those 100 millions, if I have all these buyers, they would probably pay me, if I offered $100 for that bottle. I only got 1 bottle of water and we're stuck in the desert. They would probably give me $100, $200 for that water bottle. Why? Everyone else that drank gallons of water will not even go close to paying me $100 for it, right? And that's kind of the thing. I know the water bottle is probably worth $1 to $2. But the problem is that what I have to a certain buyer is worth a lot more than to another buyer. For example, if I have a deal and I have a cash buyer that just loves renting and he can rent this out and make 20% cash on cash, he's going to love it. But like the flip opportunity is like 10, 15 like thousand profit on it. Not the best, but like that person that can make a really good cash on cash return that values that certain type of property is most likely going to pay me more than that. It's the certain type of buyer. So how do you find these certain type of buyers? You just got to get more buyers. Like I want to get 100 of them. You're going to find those 5 that are willing to just quote unquote overpay. So it's what someone's willing to pay for that contract. I get asked that a lot. How much can I sell a deal for? It's what someone's willing to pay you for it. It's insane. Why is a Tesla worth something? Because someone is willing and able to pay 40 grand for a car, where if I had like a Prius or something, then only somebody's willing to pay 20K. Is that Prius the same car base? Kind of, it does the same thing, but just different, right? Quote unquote, it is easier to sell my deals. I put quotes on there because if you have a lot of bad cash buyers, it is harder to sell your deals. That's why I'm saying it's good to have a lot of cash buyers that are vetted, that are actually good cash buyers, right? They work very, very well. Also, you got to understand that cash buyers don't control me. I think that's one thing you guys should understand. You don't want your cash buyers controlling you or the flow or the entire deal. That's why it's really good to have a lot of buyers, because you don't have to deal with the smack that someone might give to you. I want to make sure, because if I have a lot of buyers, they actually want to buy from me. I'm not actually chasing them to buy my deal, and that's a different dynamic. So if you're brand new, guys, just quick recap of who I am. My name is Zach Ginn. I'm a 22-year-old real estate wholesaler, house flipper, creative finance guy. Why you should be listening to me. I'm a real estate investor out of Stewart. I run a 7-figure operation with my dad, Rick. I locally wholesale in Florida, and I virtually wholesale in over 40 states. There's my little bio if you want to read that. But Basically run a 7-figure operation, I'm working on trying to be the biggest virtual wholesaler out there, but still working on that. So we're just scaling up our operation. So here's legal disclosure. Of course, we got to put cute pugs today on it, because the pugs are very important with the legal disclosure. I want to entertain people while I say boring legal stuff. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a realtor. Made sure to put that little restricted mark there so the realtors feel good about themselves. I'm not a financial advisor, guru. I'm not a guru. I'm not a CPA. I'm none of those things. Please seek legal and professional counsel before doing anything I say, anything at all. Check out the pugs. I like the one with the fries, but I think the one on the horse is my favorite. I love pugs. They're really cute. I don't have a pug, but just kind of funny. But so guys, let me just tell you something really quickly. I am trying to stop these $5,000 wholesaling guru courses. Remember, guys, the more you like this video, the more you subscribe, which means you get to see even more free content out there. I don't upsell. I don't have any cash grabs. I don't have any games. I just give everything for free. So if you do me a favor and just hit that like button and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. That'd be awesome. So let's break down the wholesaling real estate process. I know some people have been DMing me lately on how I should organize things better sometimes. I try making the PowerPoints versus me just talking to you guys because I feel like a lot of visual learners like that. So one thing I want to switch for somebody, people learn differently, right? So these are like color-coded of a real estate wholesaling process. Maybe that helps. I don't know if that's too much for you, but try it out. See if that clicks with anybody. I know some people click with colors, so whatever. If you're colorblind, I'm sorry. But these are basically, we're doing the 30-day wholesaling challenge today. We are on day 24. We're kind of breaking it down. We're getting a little closer. If we're going to do a deal in 30 days right now. So days 1 through 7 again is marketing. We're finding the distressed property with our marketing. 7 through 14, we are locking up the deal. We are calling with a seller. We make sure they sign the agreement and then buy the house, and we take pictures of the property. Number 3 is we actually find the buyer, right? We find the end buyer, the rich landlord, house flipper, to buy the agreement from us, our contract, to us for a profit. And then days 8 through 24, again, we're doing the walkthrough on this deal. So we're going to walk the buyer through the house. We're going to see it, get the assignment of contract signed. We're selling the paper on there, and we walk them through, right? They sign the assignment. And then the next one, last closing day here, last week, 24th through 30, we close the deal with the title company, and we get a check mailed or wired to us. So that's pretty cool. That's the color coding on it. So give a shout out today to Fernando. Fernando's been working with us on here. He has his closing today. So shout out to Fernando. I think we're JV'd on the deal with him. It's over 20K on that deal, I know. But yeah, we'll do a podcast with him. But shout out to Fernando here, since we're talking about closing days. Congrats to him. He's doing his first deal in Arizona. He was pretty cool. He called me today. He congratulated me, congratulated him with his wife. Pretty cool. But guys, what is a cash buyer? Like, this is another question I get. Like, we're starting out new. We don't know what a cash buyer is. Let's kind of break this down, right? Guys, a cash buyer is a person who will be buying the contract from us. We will be assigning the deal. We're assigning our contract to this person for an assignment fee, aka a quote unquote finder's fee in real estate wholesaling. That's what we sort of call it here, a finder's fee. There are multiple ways to find these type of buyers, these cash buyers, quote unquote. Let's kind of break down, this stuff. But that is what a cash buyer is. So the next question here is like, what makes a good cash buyer, right? Multiple things make a good cash buyer. Number one, they have the funds already to buy the house. We need a proof of funds. That's one thing we're going to break down. We need a proof of funds from these cash buyers, or it's not a good wholesaling deal. These cash buyers, they have to have a legitimate motivation to buy the deal, right? We need actually motivation from a seller, but we also need motivation from the cash buyer. Why do they want to buy this deal, right? Do they want to rent it out? Do they want to flip it for a profit? Is this like a special 1031 exchange thing they're doing? Like, we need a motivation, or they want a land bank, right? Like, we need a motivation, because if they don't have a motivation for it, you could be dealing with a wholesaler. Like, if I ask a wholesaler, like, hey, why are you looking to buy this house, and they're trying to daisy chain it, they're not going to answer you, right? Like, oh, I don't know. I'm trying to sell it because I got to buy. So you're going to get the motivation, see if you're dealing with the wrong cash buyer. Every good cash buyer has a motivation. Most of it is all money, right? They want to flip it for a profit. They just want to rent it out. You just got to figure it out. They need to be okay. They could even do the BRRRR strategy, right? That's fine too. Like, I'm not a big fan of the BRRRR strategy, but like some people, cash buyers, they like the bigger pocket stuff and they do it, right? They have to be okay with you aka the wholesaler, making any amount, not a certain amount, any amount for the assignment fee. They have to be okay with you making stinking $500,000 on the assignment of contract if that's what it takes. Okay. I think a lot of people don't understand that. I think a lot of wholesalers don't do it the right way, but you got to understand that like these cash buyers, they have to be okay with you making any amount on the assignment because the assignment fee for you doesn't matter. It's the purchase price that matters. If you have a cash buyer that's not okay with it, you will not do a good deal in there. You very might as well lose off on the deal and you're not going to make a lot of profits on it. So we do not like that. So again, we kind of talked about this on the first week of the challenge, but just in case for everyone brand new here, how do I get my free contract, my free assignment of contract? Because we're going to break down the assignment of contract because we're dispoing our deal today. We're doing dispositions on it, right? Dispo is short for dispositions. We went over that definition that dispositions is selling the deal. Just go to www.flipwithrick.com/contract or go on the bottom right here on freewholesaling.com. When it comes to the contract module, you can actually go on there and download it for free. Wherever you really like, that is the best way to be going after there and finding it. Okay, guys. And kind of let's break down title companies too. I get a lot of questions like this all the time, so I do want to answer this. Another reason why I do really go hard in the paint on making these type of information like this PowerPoint wise is because you guys ask me questions. So this is a big question I get, like, what title company do I use for the cash buyer? Just watch this video and I break it down for you guys. It's awesome. It's amazing. So the cash buyer must use our title company. Not your title company, not their title company, not your grandma's title company, not your realtor's. No, you're using the title company you have that is wholesaling friendly, that is in your best interest, not my best interest, your best interest. That is what we got to do. Cash buyer must use our title company. Okay. And I think it's very important. And I know a lot of people, they sometimes get confused. They don't know how much to sell a deal for, to a point. So let me answer this question. Let me talk about reverse wholesaling for a second too. So number one is how do I figure out how much to sell my real estate wholesaling deal for? One thing I always tell everybody is if you're having trouble with, or if you're struggling on how much to sell your deal for, I would honestly just find the ARV minus repairs, multiply that by 83, 84%, maybe even 80% if you really want to get conservative and just sell it at that price. Or you can, if you really want to, just ask the cash buyer how much they're willing to pay for it and then kind of negotiate from there if you really have to. And that is reverse wholesaling. So let's kind of break down reverse wholesaling, right? This term gets thrown out there a lot and I kind of want to answer it. And it's a really powerful tool I use all the time. So if you are reverse wholesaling, so if you are wholesaling vacant land, for example, if you don't have good ARV, if you don't have good comps to your real estate wholesaling deal, some people just don't have good comps and it's fine. I get it. Some people they're struggling with their comps and that's fine. I get where most people are coming from there. Sometimes you get better and better. If you have a weird or quote unquote unusual deal or property in real estate wholesaling, I get it. You might need some help with that. So I understand that. Some people just have really weird deals. I know somebody, they actually went to me and they tried coming to me with this Cleveland deal, because we're JVing a lot. And this deal was so weird. I went to some of the cash buyers, I don't even know how much to pay for this, but reverse wholesaling is really powerful. So if you have a weird deal, you can't find a good ARV, you don't have any comp for a property, right? If you're wholesaling vacant land, you should reverse wholesale the deal. And this comes back to the next questions, what's reverse wholesaling? Well, reverse wholesaling is basically when you ask the cash buyer how much they would buy the house for before you lock it up. Very, very important, right? So for example, you ask a cash buyer before you lock it up, I'm looking at this lead. I don't know how much it's worth, right? I might go to a very trusted cash buyer and ask them, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, I have this lead. I'm trying to get this under contract. I'm going to the appointment tomorrow or, do the call. How much would he buy this property for? Just for example, I'm at a loss for how much I should lock this up for. I don't want to waste your time or my time. Well, Zach, I'll probably pay around $100,000 for that if it's based on this, and this, right? Okay. So if I know it's based on this, and this, I can pay $100 for it. And so the cool part with reverse wholesaling is hey, I go to the seller now and I'm like, how much you want to sell it? And they're like, oh, I want to sell it for, 75. And I'm like, okay, well, can we do, 50? No, hey, you lock it up for 60, right? Now you know you're gonna make 40,000. In that negotiation, you're basically buying $100 bills. What I mean by this, if you're negotiating with somebody and I go to somebody and say, hey, how much would you how much can I buy this for? And they're like $100. So like if I give you, or how much can you give me $100 worth? How much will you give me point whatever ounces of gold? I'll give you $100 for it. Okay. And so I go to you and I'm like, well, how much can you sell this gold for? And like $90. I'm like, so I can take this gold, give it to you, give me 100, make $10. Like that's kind of what we do here. You're basically buying $100 bills for $80, which is very profitable, right? So if they say they'll buy for 100,000, you know that you need to lock up the deal for a lot less, but then it's a profit, right? You only do this for extremely trusted cash buyers and it works really well. The point is anything under 100,000 is pure profit for you and you can negotiate that at the end. So let's kind of break down, guys, the walkthrough, right? Like how do we walk these properties through, all that kind of stuff. So we get it locked up, right? And now we want a cash buyer. So again, we kind of break down the process there of like, we get the property under contract. We try to find our cash buyer. The cash buyer says, okay, I'm gonna get a cash buyer, right? We vetted them, got proof funds, all that stuff. Then we want to walk the person through the property, right? And before we do the walkthrough, I just want to say before I break that down is number one, we need to vet them, right? At freewholesaling.com, we kind of break down a little more detail. But like, first of all, like I've said before, we need a proof of funds. What is a proof of funds? Again, a proof of funds is basically showing that they actually have money in their bank account to actually buy the deal, right? I think that's really important. So if no one has got the money in their bank account, they're not going to be fine. If they're not okay with you making a profit on the deal, not good, right? These are all the things I kind of said before. That's all stuff you got to do before the walkthrough. So if they're good with it, it's fine, right? So we're going to do our walkthrough right now, right? What is the walkthrough? Again, the cash buyer needs to see the property. Most of them, like some of them do sign on scene, but not a lot. It's not worth your time wasting time on that. But like these cash buyers, they will need to see the property and they're going to have to pretty much put eyes on the house before they buy it. They quote unquote got to test drive it before they inspect it and see it, right? Pretty important, you'll need to let the seller know that you and your quote unquote partner will need to swing by the house and look at it since your partner basically never got to see the house, right? Good excuse, right? You're going to walk the cash buyer through the house and send them the assignment of contract after and you get the thing signed, right? Pretty cool. So what if you're doing virtual wholesaling, right? I think that's the next part here. It's like, what if you're virtual and you can't do the walkthrough yourself, right? This is a huge question I get all the time. Well, if you're virtually wholesaling, you will need basically to do the deal with a virtual walkthrough. How do you do a virtual walkthrough? You're going to need a boots on the ground. A boots on the ground is that type of person that actually walks the property for you. You actually pay the money to take pictures of the house, to maybe get the seller to sign the contract in person if you have to, show a property, right? How do you find these people? Sometimes you can pay a realtor. You can have a JV partner do half of it with you. You can go to Facebook groups, basically job listings, and pay someone to do it. Usually not a wholesaler. We don't like that. I like to pay about $50, $75 to walk someone through the property. I like realtors because they have instant credibility and some of them, they're good $50, right? Now, this is another question I get all the time. And this is one I kind of want to preference before I say. I had to switch the computer for a second. But is selling your deal illegal, right? And this is a big question. And guys, if you have questions, I am going to answer them in the comments today. So FYI, like if you got your question, I'll try my best to answer them on the YouTube comments. You're getting a lot of comments, but I'm going to try to answer every single one I can today. Hopefully I can. But again, we found the right buyer, right? We vetted them out. They have the proof of funds. They're okay with you making an assignment, right? You walked them through and you're good to go. You get the contract done. A lot of people ask me still, is real estate wholesaling illegal? Like, is the assignment, is the dispo, like, how can I do this the right way? And a lot of laws in wholesaling, the dispo is the thing that's being regulated. And that's the thing you got to do it the right way. So kind of let me show you the right way to be doing it, right? And so is selling your deal legal? Is the dispositions process legal, right? Well, wholesaling is basically not allowed physically in Illinois and in parts of Philadelphia if you don't have a certain licensing. Philadelphia, you get $200 license, you're fine. Illinois, after doing more than one deal, it's pretty much hard to do unless you're licensed. But you can virtually wholesale outside these areas. And I think that's one thing a lot of people really get confused with me. I don't get it. Like, it makes no sense to me, but whatever. But like, wholesaling is not allowed physically in the market, but you can virtually wholesale outside of it. I think that's one thing a lot of people get confused, but it's 100% something you can do. So hopefully that helps you out. But like, you can virtually wholesale outside these areas if you're not a realtor. So you're fine. you are, even if you're not a realtor, so you are selling an equitable interest on the contract, not the physical property. I'm trying to see the way I wrote this. I don't know how I wrote this way, but you are selling an equitable interest in the deal, not the physical property. You're selling equitable interest. You're not selling property. So the one thing I can tell you is don't publicly market or sell your deal. Don't publicly market to selling the deal. What do I mean by this? Like, there are laws in wholesaling in other states. So for example, there's laws in Oklahoma and Nebraska about publicly marketing it. Arizona has a disclosure type thing on it, but to a point, if you don't publicly market, you're fine. Arizona's a little weird about, there are loopholes around it, which I'll break down a little more. But it's all about intention. And then there's really no teeth to that. But like, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to break it down too much. You're fine in Arizona still. But it's kind of crazy the way gurus kind of spin it. But just don't publicly market or sell your deal. And this is like in Florida, you can actually publicly market the deal in like a weird way. That's bad. That in Nebraska and Oklahoma, you can't. But I still in Florida would never do this. And I don't recommend anyone do this. And whenever they make a ban or a regulation about wholesaling, it's because it's probably kind of unethical or bad. And that's never a way I teach wholesaling. So if you just listen the way I tell you how to wholesale, you're going to be fine. I think one thing people get freaked out on, but like, you can't publicly market and sell the deal like that. So what I mean, like, don't sell the deal by posting the property as you actually own it. I never understood people who do that. And I've never promoted that ever. And some people do. For example, if you lock up a property, right, for 123 Main Street for $100,000, right, and you want to sell it for 120, make $20,000, that's good, right? Hey, awesome. Here's the problem. I'm not going to act like a realtor and act like I own the house. So some people actually will post that deal on Zillow for sale by owner, which kind of weird, because what is a for sale by owner? You act as if you're the owner of the property. You act as if you're selling it yourself. And Zillow is a private company. So quote unquote, like, it's technically not illegal because it's a private corporation. You're telling a corporation you own a house. I'm not a fan of it. Like, I don't think so. Like, I don't think you should be doing it, but I don't think it should be illegal. But like, if you're not the owner, I think the owner can go after you, but like, they could probably try to sue you. But like, if you don't own the house, don't publicly market. Like, don't publicly market on Zillow that you own the house, or on people do that on Facebook. Like, oh, I own the property, right? No, you don't. Don't act like you're the owner of it. It makes no sense. So don't do that. Basically, publicly marketing the property, selling is basically acting like you own the house and not the contract. You need to act like you're selling the contract, not the house. So don't just, basically at the end of the day, don't post the deal on Facebook or Craigslist and you'll be fine. You can it's legal to actually go out here and privately market to a cash buyer that is interested, if you need to do that. Some people don't even have to do that, right? But sometimes you can just privately market, just call a cash buyer up, see if they want to buy the contract, the equitable interest for you. And 9 times out of 10, that is the legal way to do it. Don't act like you own the house. Privately market the property. So this goes to the question. This is like the $1 million question in wholesaling real estate, right? How do we actually go out here and find cash buyers? I think that's the biggest one out here. That is the biggest question I get, right? How to actually find cash buyers. So get a screenshot if you wanted this, but these are the cash buyer tiers I've kind of listed here. So before we break down how to find cash buyers, we got to understand the types of cash buyers. And there's like different levels of them. These are the ones I like going after. There's also landlords on here that are kind of in between these, but like, these are the tiers of cash buyers you got to deal with, right? Number one, we have our slumlords. These are people that buy over 50 houses a year. They will pay you the least for the house. You will get the least type of assignment contract on there. Those are never the best ones. Next year, you have high level. This is all people that pay the least to pay the most. These are what I call high level flippers. They will flip 20 properties a year. They usually have 2 or 3 flips going on at the same time. These are like full-time, very, 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 very savvy investors. So very savvy. They pay at least the most everyone except for this. I call slumlords. Like, these are people that just buy a ton. These are not hedge funds. Those are different. But yeah, medium level flippers, they'll do like 5 properties a year. They'll do 10 properties a year. Like, they're decent. They probably pay the average, right? I would say 83%, right? And then you got like 80, and then you got like 70, right? Like, so they'll pay 5 to 10. Those are good. For virtual wholesaling, those are most of the buyers I deal with. And then one of my favorites is the mom and pop flippers. This is either a realtor, this is somebody that's trying to get into the house flipping game, right? They'll buy one deal a year, at most four, like once a quarter, and they want to do it all themselves. They want to do the whole HGTV type thing, the house flipping TV show thing. They'll pay a ton for the house because they just don't want to pay on the MLS. The medium level flipper doesn't deal with MLS property. Mom and pop like it. So when they can buy 83% less than 100%, which is the MLS is basically 100%, 95-ish, they're saving so much money. They're saving tens of thousands of dollars dealing with you. They'll pay a lot. They don't usually ask any questions. They're not really too much of a hassle. My favorite is the fresh out of the seminar flipper, the person that's basically done zero deals. This person's the hardest. They require a lot of work, and they're usually not good buyers after one or two of these deals because they're just, they don't want to flip too much. They'll pay the most for the deal. They just left the house flipping seminar and they just want a deal to get their hands dirty. They pay the most for it. You're still trying to give them some profit on it, but you squeeze most of the profit out from them because they're okay just making 10K on the flip, right? And that's the honest truth. So those are the best ones out there, and they're willing to pay them. Those are the people in the desert that are just desperate to get a deal, right? They don't know how to market anything like that. I call these fresh out of the seminar flippers. Probably got to switch that name. But so what is our list building rules, right? So when we're pulling cash buyers lists, when we're marketing for cash buyers, trying to find cash buyers, we want to understand these certain rules, right? First of all, we want quality over quantity. I think that's something very, very important. Quality is more important than quantity here, right? We want to deal with, I would rather, this is better than anything, 5 amazing, highly qualified cash buyers is way better than 3,000 bad ones. And what makes a quality, high quality, qualified cash buyer? Someone that's okay with us making a big assignment fee. They don't care. Somebody that has already bought properties, cash, they already own properties, so they understand the process really well. These are people that are pretty easy with the walkthroughs. They don't want to talk to the seller. They follow your rules very well, and they just want to help buy more deals from you. And they don't ask questions too much. What do you mean ask questions? Like, they won't talk to a seller, try to ruin the deal. They're very trusted, right? They're very professional. They have proof of funds. They actually bought properties from wholesalers before they understand the process. Those are very high quality, in my opinion. They're absolutely amazing, right? And this brings us back to the question, like, how do we find cash buyers? Now, I don't have 10 hours today to go through every single one. But if you go to freewholesaling.com, I have hundreds of hours where I break it all down if you really want to get the nitty gritty on each different one. But let me kind of break down some of them, right? So number one is like Craigslist, for example. We love Craigslist. Craigslist is an amazing one. So you can actually go on Craigslist, find cash buyers. Now, I'm not the biggest fan on like posting your deal on Craigslist, right? But if you really want to, I would say you can actually go on Craigslist and find decent ones. So like if you find 4 rents on Craigslist, you actually have to vet them hard. It's a good one. It's a freeway. So I'm going to list that. You can go on Facebook groups to find your cash buyers. What is a Facebook type group? You can find it's at freewholesaling.com, and you can basically find over 250 cash buyers in under an hour. You just go to the real estate investing groups. You search at gmail.com, and then you kind of search drop email, and they can find cash buyers dropping their email. It's really easy and fast to do. Remember, at bottom right here, freewholesaling.com, I have about 2 hours where I just pull this for you and show you the process. I have my scripts and everything like that. And also, you go to Facebook groups, and actually, if you go to a real estate investing group on Facebook, okay, if you go to a real estate investing group like the Houston Real Estate Investors, and you post this ad copy, which I'm going to show you, you can get cash buyers just in your DMs pretty easy. Now, I feel like I sell this for $3,000, but I give it out for free. You go to Facebook Marketplace, find people trying to list their properties and see if they're cash buyers. Cold calling cash sales is hands down probably my favorite way right now. You're just going straight to the source, right? You're cold calling people that have bought properties, all equity. So they've bought a property for cash, and there's public record that they bought property for cash. I just love calling them. It's a lot easier, a lot less vetting, right? Local real estate investing associations are really good. Realtors, actually, if you pay a realtor $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 of a marketing fee, they could actually go to a cash buyer and just overpay for the property. I love those. Cash sales, again, I'm saying that again because you actually go to cash sales without like listrei.com to doing it. So go to listrei.com or zachdata.com to actually pull the cash sales. But you actually go to the public records and find cash sales. A little harder to do. That's why listrei.com here is listed on there. Actually doing hedge funds. Hedge funds are still great. Some are a little different right now, but like they're still good. You can JV, use other wholesalers for it. It's another good way to do it. You can actually do Facebook and Instagram ads if you really like want to get creative. Go to new real estate agents and have them kind of dispo for you if you really want to get hard, like go hard in the paint on it. There's definitely a lot of stuff on there. It's interesting, right? Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. And that's the way to do it. So the next one here is free cash buyer hacks. So let's kind of break down some of the Facebook cash buyer hacks, right? Like for free. Number one is free Facebook groups. I recommend everyone goes to, like, this is the biggest ad copy hack I can give to you. This is like a $3,000 course I'm giving for free right now. A lot of people say, oh, you're not getting it. Guys, watch. So if you go to Facebook groups, actually pretty decent, you can actually do it. So I recommend everyone go to your local real estate investing group. Go to this one, that one, which way you like going to Facebook groups in your local county, market, city, state, whatever. I want you to go to the big wholesaling ones, the big cash buyer ones, and I want you to post this. Now, since I'm the creator of this ad copy, you cannot do it in my group because I don't allow stuff like this in my group because it's only wholesalers allowed, and I don't like spam. That's why our group grows pretty well. But this is something for other people. I tell everyone to spam, not other ones, but like, what is it? So this is my quote unquote thing. You can screenshot this. I'll give it a second for everybody. This is all at freewholesaling.com, how to do this. This is stuff I used to do in my local market that was absolutely just destructive. It's amazing. There's like multiple wholesalers since like the 2010s. For like the past 10 years, people have been doing this type of ad copy. I kind of created it the way that I like it. It's a little exaggerated to a point, but it's pretty good. I just say houses at a deep discount. Basically say if you are in the Port St. Lucie market, and if you're looking to buy off-market properties, off-market houses, whatever one you really want to use for a certain percentage off-market value and make big profits on your flips or next rental or flip, please private message me or drop your message below. People have emojis, and I'll send you some of these deals. These are really, really good ones. You're not lying to anyone. If you have deals, it's really cool to post these, and you have a lot of cash buyers coming at you here. This is stuff you have to pay a ton of money to actually like learn this stuff. This is a lot of stuff. It's kind of crazy, but it is true though. But this is something that I've used. A lot of people are using. I think a lot of people are going to be using this. A lot of gurus, coaching programs, or whatever, they do this in different ways. And I don't want to break it down too much. Like, so I know some people like post this and they try to find sellers. Not the best way to. I do it to find buyers. I've been posting stuff like this for 5+ years now, and it works really good on Facebook for finding buyers, and it works pretty well. I use for land deals, all this stuff I like. So I'm gonna give you about 10 more seconds to screenshot this, and I'm gonna go on the next slide here. Remember, this is all replayed on the YouTube channels you're watching here and at freewholesaling.com. Remember, the 30-day challenge is all replayed at freewholesaling.com. So 3, 2, 1, screenshot it. Giving you 1 second to screenshot. Boom. All right, next one. So that's how you basically build 250 cash buyers a day. You just go in those groups and do it. So how do we market to cash sales, right? So if you basically just go to like listrei.com, you can actually pull all the cash sales in a zip code or in like a hot market, for example. You're just going to pull all the cash sales on listrei.com. Remember, at freewholesaling.com, I show you how to do it all the right way. But you just go to find hot market zip codes. You're going to pull that list. You can skip trace that list, True People search it, whatever way you're going to find them. You can even Facebook message these people. Cold calling is the best way. You're just going to ask them this, hey, I saw you purchase 123 Main Street, all cash. Is this the owner? Yes. Are you looking to buy any more houses at deep discounts or buy any more houses for cash? This is a really good way to find buyers. And this is definitely still something I recommend for you guys. It works really well for me and something I still highly recommend. Now, you could cold call the 4 rents. That's another really good way you can be doing it. So how do you cold call the 4 rents? Multiple websites you can cold call 4 rents, but I recommend Zillow.com. So like, what is on Zillow.com? So basically, you go to Zillow.com, you go to the 4 rents, and you cold call all of these that aren't listed. You don't want to cold call a 4 rent that's listed by a realtor. You actually want the owner who listed it. So 4 rent by owner, quote unquote, FRBO. Not FISBO, but Furbo, FRB, whatever, for rent by owner. But basically, these are people that are listing their own property own for rent. They work really well. So you're going to cold call all the for rents that aren't listed with a realtor and basically going to ask them this. Hey, I saw you own 123 Main Street. Are you looking to buy any more houses at a deep discount to rent? Explain your wholesaler, put them through the process, and send them deals. Works really well, guys. I don't know why not a lot of people are doing this, but it works very, very well. You can also use real estate, use realtors. You can go to like realestateagentlist.com. I think you got to pay for that. I'm trying to see what the cost is. It is an option, but it is something that I still tell a lot of people to use. Let me pop up the realestateagentlist.com. I think you got to pay for it. So I don't recommend paying for like everything, but like it is pretty cool. You know, you can actually buy a list of real estate agents if you really wanted to. I'm not associated with that guy, so I don't know, but I know it's something I used to use in the past. I actually recommend, like currently something I've been doing. I've been finding cash sales, and then I've been finding realtors that represent the buyer. If you want to do it for free, like realtor.com actually shows buyers that represented cash sales, and that's a really good way to be doing it too. You basically put all the realtors in your area, and you ask them if they want to make a fee. See if they have emails, phone numbers, stuff like that, get their information. But like basically find people and see if they want to make a marketing fee. If they bring a buyer to you for wholesaling, explain wholesaling, right? You're going to find the cash transactions and contact those realtors. It's free. Next part here is controlling the cash buyer. I think that's very, very important for a lot of people, but you need to control your cash buyer. Remember, you don't work for the cash buyer. They work for you. You're selling the deal to them. You control the deal. They don't control you, right? Cash buyers will and always will, if you don't do it the right way. I'm telling you guys, they will take advantage of you if they can. And if they can, they can figure out they take advantage of you. They are going to. So I don't recommend that you let these cash buyers run over you. Never the right thing to do. And trust me, they will if they can. Remember, guys, you want to keep the cash buyer always chasing you to a point where you want to have multiple ones, so they have to actually try to get the deal from you, right? Scarcity mindset for cash buyers is another one I always recommend. Cash buyers, to a point, you know, if they're in a scarcity mindset where they got to get the next deal right, it's going to work very, very well for you. And that's for having multiple buyers and really good deals. So again, let me break down my rules for cash buyers. I do have specific rules when it comes to building cash buyers and cash buyers in general, which I kind of said before. But these are kind of the 5 main ones. If you got to write them down and make sure, you got to ask yourself these questions when you're pulling a cash buyer. If you ask yourself these 5 questions, very hard that's a wholesaler trying to daisy chain you or anything like that. So what are these 5 different questions, right? So number 1 is they must understand and be okay with you making a killer assignment contract. They have to, like, we kind of say this before, but like, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, are you okay if I made $100,000 on this deal? Even though if you're going to make like 20, yeah, I'm okay with that. And they see you make 20, oh, he's not making 100, fine. But you got to understand this is really, really important. And if you don't ask this question, you could have somebody that is not okay with you making an assignment fee and they back out of the deal. Some people are just like, oh, he's making $50K on the deal. I don't want to buy it now. I feel like I'm getting gypped or something. That's a bad cash buyer. And that's when you don't. I've used to have deal with cash buyers like this. Never good, right? Number 2, they must follow your commands. If they slip up once on a walkthrough, they will lose all future deals, and there's no talking to the seller or any communication with the seller at all. This is your deal. If they refuse any of those things, this is not a good real estate wholesaling deal for them. This is not a good cash buyer for you. Do not want to be dealing with them. Number 3, they must use my title company, the one that I use, not your title company, my title company. They also need to pay for all the closing costs, right? Number 4, earnest money deposit is $5,000, and that is non-refundable. Okay. If you agree to it, you're not getting that $5K back. You got to buy the deal. And number 5 is you have one walkthrough to look through the deal. I will give you another one on closing day if you really, really have to, which most people should. But you get one walkthrough before you sign the assignment of contract. Okay. You get one. All right. Those are my rules. So again, this is the assignment of contract. Again, Rick kind of went over all the contracts at freewholesaling.com, but this is the one we use. Remember, get it for free at freewholesaling.com. Rick kind of breaks down how to say it the right way. You get them to sign it, right? You walk them to the house. They agree it. You meet at a secondary location, right? And you basically send the assignment of contract to the title company once it's all signed. Make sure the cash buyer sends the EMD and you're good to go. Now, this brings us back to dead time. And what is dead time? So there's the whole real estate wholesaling process, like we brought it down before, right? We get a property under contract, right? And then we find somebody. So we put the property under contract, we send a title company, we have our earnest money, right? It's all good, right? Now I have it locked up. We do our marketing, all that stuff, but we get it locked up. We find a cash buyer, we vet them, make sure they're okay with all the rules, right? We walk into the house. Okay, I'm good with it. And then they sign the assignment, and I locked it up for 100K, and I'm selling for 120. I'm making $20,000 in this deal. Awesome, right? Here's the problem. So I get the assignment signed, and they agree to pay me $20,000 on the assignment fee. All good, right? That's perfect. That's all we want, right? Now, the problem is when we get that assignment signed, making 20K on the deal, let's say I got this property on contract January 1st, and then I had the assignment signed January 15th, and they agree to close February 1st, right? Here's the problem. I have February 15th through, January 15th all the way to February 1st. That quote unquote time is what I call the dead time period. Dead time is basically the time where you're not finding any cash buyers, not doing it. You have the deal already done. The problem is if you just don't talk to the seller for 2 weeks, you ghost them, you ghost the cash buyer, and you just assume everything's gonna be perfect, you might have a crazy blown up situation on your hands, and that's never good. So we don't want to be dealing with that too much. So these are the rules for dead time in between you get the property signed and closing day. So the time between you getting the assignment of contract signed, cash buyer sends the earnest money to the title company, and closing day, these are the rules you must have. Number one, you have to call the cash buyer once a week and get an update on the deal from them, with title, all that stuff, just following up with them, make sure they're good for everything. You got to call the seller 2 to 3 times a week, just checking in with them on this deal. I'm telling you guys, this is very important, but you need to check in with your cash buyers. You need to check in with your seller, make sure everything's good. If they need help or anything, just check in on you, making sure everything's good. For the closing, we're still all set. Just seeing if you have any questions or anything. Do that 2 to 3 times a week. Have title company call the seller at least 2 to 3 times a week. This is a must for me. But I basically make my title company call my seller 2 to 3 times a week, making sure that we're all good. Because sometimes they're like, I haven't heard from the title company. I don't think the Zach guy's legit. Sellers think like that sometimes. So that's why you have to have the title company call the seller 2 to 3 times a week. Very important, guys. You also want to confirm the title is clear and have no issues. That's why you got to call the title company too. Just make sure everything's all good. These are my rules for dead time. Then boom, we're at closing day. We get our check, we repeat, and we're all good to go. Really nothing for you to sign at closing day except picking up a check and get wired to you. But at the end of the day, that is the dispositions process. That is closing day. That is how to sell your deals to cash buyers and make tons of profits in a real estate wholesaling deal. So that's it. That's my ultimate cash buyers guide as how to find cash buyers, dispositions, all that stuff. Kind of try to ram through all of it to give you everything you can, really condense for the best value possible. Yeah, guys, I am back on the lives. So pretty cool. We're going to just get through the challenge really well. I'm really excited, guys. A lot of people are getting their first contracts done. So pretty awesome. So I'm getting a lot of questions actually on here on the disposition side. So I do want to basically answer them and kind of break it down. But one question I do want to answer for everyone asking this too. So I did put this in the group, how do I join the live? How do so I am doing my one-on-ones today, but it's in a different way. So let me explain this. So a lot of people are, a lot of people want to get their questions answered, and I like streaming them, but here's one thing I'm going to do now, because I kind of miss doing these. I like making it a little more private for the one-on-one. So I feel like I'm not answering too many of the YouTube comments, which I used to do before because I'm just doing so many one-on-ones. So what I'm going to be doing is for the rest of this video, I'm going to be answering YouTube comments. And then if you're on the Wholesaling House for Real Facebook group, then my mastermind, I'm going to do a private mastermind Zoom, probably maybe 2 to 3 times a week. I don't know how much, but today at 6:30, I think, or 6. Really depends when I get after I'm done with this video answering some of these questions, I'm going to do a private Zoom for everyone in the mastermind. They actually get to talk to me one-on-one privately. We can actually the reason why I like the Zoom a little better than the one-on-ones on the YouTube channel is because I'm treating it as a mastermind, so you can actually network on the Zoom with other people. The comments, everyone's on the same chat board there. It's kind of cool. So I'm actually going to be doing, after this video, a private networking meetup, wholesaling meetup on the Zoom. It's going to be pretty cool. So everyone asked me the question, is like, how do I actually join the meetup? How do I join the Zoom? How do I do this? Because it forces not forced participation, but like you're actually in the thing. So like we're just like, oh, why don't we do a meetup or something? Well, let's do a virtual meetup. So if you are part of Wholesaling Houses for Real here, Awesome group, 54,400, which is insane. But basically right here, I shared the link 4 hours ago here. It is Wholesaling Houses for Real. Is it? So no one-on-one link for the YouTube anymore. That link now is a Zoom that we're going to do maybe 2-3 times a week. I got to figure out when, but okay, 6:30. So 6:30, I'm going to do my one-on-ones, and then I'm going to do the group networking event. So 6:30 here. Here's the link to join the Zoom. I don't want to post it too much, but we're going to get a lot of people on here, which is going to be cool. No, actually, I don't know how many people. It might not. Hey, you might get a private one-on-one Zoom with me, and no one's going to be on it. It's just going to be you and me chilling for hours, right? That might be cool. But just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. After this live, I'm going to try to accept everyone right now. So if you go to Wholesaling Houses for Real, after this video, I'm going to try to accept everyone on it so everyone can have a link on there. And you can actually talk to me one-on-one for a private Zoom. And then maybe we'll chop it up and to see if we can have some good questions. Might post that back on the channel here if you get value from that. But like, it's going to be a private one where basically nobody is going to be able to see it today on it. So it's basically very private. If I tell you something, it's not that private mastermind question won't be public that day. Maybe it gets public in the future if, we post it or something. But like for that week or something, no one's going to be able to get that answer, which is pretty cool. It's private. It's not going to be live, which I think changes it a little more. And so I'm treating it as a networking event, which is really cool. Those Zooms ain't too cheap to run if they got the servers and stuff, but pretty cool. So if you want to talk to me one-on-one, just go to Wholesaling House for Real Facebook group and we'll get it done. So let me ask some of the questions we got here and see. So Zachary Weaver, he's wrong on this one, and I'll tell you, I don't like this, but he likes ARV times 80 to 83% minus repairs and a fee. No, that is Zachary. Great name, bro. I don't know why the E there. It's Zachary is the right way to spell Zachary, but no, guys, don't be doing it's ARV. Okay, minus repairs multiplied by 83%. That is the way actual cash buyers do it. And as someone that runs a 7-figure wholesaling operation, that's the right way to do it. Zachary, if you are doing a 7-figure operation, I would love to see how you're even making that work with that crazy calculation, but hey, whatever, right? Kai says here, how many times should you visit the property after getting under contract? Just want to be sure. So that's actually a really great question. And in my personal opinion, I feel if you do it right, it's only one, right? Because when you market to these cash buyers your deal, right, you're privately marketing to them, like I said here on the video, but like they have to already agree to the contract price before, because you're giving to them with the contract price. They have to agree to the contract price before they walk through it. So it's like 90% chance that they walk through and actually do it. I don't do a walkthrough unless they're basically already committed to the deal. It's kind of a formality walking through the house. That's kind of the way I treat it, Kai. So that's sort of the way I do it. So once or twice at most. And I always tell them, hey, my cash buyer partner's got to go through the property. And once they lock it up and say, hey, my partner's got to go through it, which is your cash buyer partner. And that works really, really well. But really good question there, Kai. Really cool. The Flip with Rick Facebook group is on pause. Yeah. That's a group we haven't had in years. That's a really old group from like 2015. Basically, Star Beyond Light says, are flies on the wall allowed on the Zoom? Yeah, if you want to be a fly on the wall, yeah, you can join the Zoom. So like FYI, you don't have to talk to me one-on-one on the Zoom. It is a meetup. Some people do go to meetups and don't say a word. Fine. You can join the Zoom if you want, but just FYI, you should network if you can. You don't have to speak on it if you don't want to, but yeah. But yeah, that kind of question's interesting though, like, hey, well, it's just weird, it's like, how many buyers should I walk through there? That's it, pretty much. But yeah, so let's kind of answer some of the other questions we got here and seeing how I can help all y'all on here with the dispositions process. But yeah, so what's up, Kenny? What's up, guys? What's up, Michael? Let's go. What's awesome, bro? Everyone loves the song, I love to see it. Zachary says, what's up? Toledo. I actually say Toledo, Ohio is a good market. And another reason we're doing the Zoom is a lot of people have questions outside of dispositions, and I want this video just to stick to dispositions. So yeah. Zach Van Ness says, time to make fat stacks. Love it. Love to see it. Song grew on me. I love it. What is up? What's up? All right. Squat up. All right, Patrick. Awesome. What is that? Hold on. PHAM. Are you saying Birmingham? Stands for, I think, Birmingham. But all right. I don't know Birmingham, but all right. Yeah, this is Zach Ginn speaking, but yeah. Oh, it's okay. Just rewind it. Guys, this video always gets done, but yeah. So, bro, what would you say for beginners who have no idea what to do? So go through the wholesaling challenge. This is day 24, but I would probably go to freewholesaling.com and kind of break down all the information there. Sounds loud and clear. Awesome. Awesome. Anyone in the Bay Area want to connect? Awesome. Awesome. I love pugs. Love it too. Eagle, what is up? Best in the game. Appreciate it. Smash that like button. Zach is gold. Awesome. Appreciate it. The Crew Slayers. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it, man. Zach, I will make 100K within the next 3 months. Mark my words, Jack. Actions speak louder than the words. So I'm excited. So Brandon likes the color coding. Appreciate him. So that's awesome. Apparently, BHAM, all the Alabama guys know it's Birmingham. I don't know why I did not know that, but whatever. Appreciate it, Alex. It's very sweet. Chris says, how should I market my deal once I got a deal locked up? I know not to do anything about the address. So don't give the address out. So again, that's publicly marketing the deal. I never, ever like market out my deal unless I have them pass all the rules. I mean, I don't even care about the address because like if they're okay with you making the assignment, they are okay with not contacting the seller. You got the proof of funds. I don't really care about giving them the address or not. Most people just blanket, just mark it out without vetting the buyer before they give the deal out to, and that's when you like screw up. So vet the buyer first and then give them the deal. Thanks, Rissa. I appreciate it. ARV minus repairs multiply 83%. That's most of the time. That is the right way. That is most of the time. Yeah, I would say. Let's see what else we got here. Got a lot of good questions today, guys. Always excited coming back here on the lives. Always love the lives, you know. We're going to have a lot more lives after the challenge is over. So just FYI, just been traveling like crazy lately. But I'm back. So Rick will be on next week. So that'd be pretty cool. Marcus, what's up, Zach? From New York City. I know you said the market is bad. Yeah, New York City is not a good wholesale market, but I've seen abandoned houses here. Should you start with these houses? Go after them. See, like, figure out who the owners are and then kind of get back to me and then sort of figure out like the best way for that. That's honestly my advice for it. I have 2 condos in Florida. I need help with the dispo. Just send it over to the JV people, www.flipwithrick.com/JV. That would probably be the best way to do it. Let's see here. Jason says, can I ask the cash buyer how much they would buy the property for? Yeah, that is reverse wholesaling. Do I look for a title company once seller signs the contract, or is it both seller buyer signs No, you need to find the title company. We did the title company like one of the first videos in the challenge on purpose because you actually need to go out here and find that buyer pretty fast, but you need to find the title company fast. The title company you need to find like day 1 or 2 of wholesaling, right? Very easy, very fast, very simple to do. So that's something you got to be doing like ASAP quick, right? How to go live to ask questions? Just go to Wholesaling House for Real on Facebook, and that's the best way to be doing it. But yeah. Alrighty. Awesome, JR. What's up? What's up? Is it better to price high to start? Is it better to price high to start and take offers on the price, or low and start to take? I don't bid up like that. I just give them the price that's kind of higher. That's kind of say it louder than the people in the back. Yeah, that's the way I like doing it. You know, you don't want to publicly market. Like I always tell you, you really don't want to. That is never the right way to be doing it. So hands down, not the biggest fan of that. Just for everyone asking for it, but yeah. Alrighty. Anyone Michigan? So I virtually wholesale in Michigan. So yeah, maybe, but yeah. Let's see here. Zachary Weaver. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. Fred says, hey, Zach, did your father do the market crash video this past Monday? I've been looking for it. Can you tell me where it's at? Yeah, he did a video about a market crash. I did on the Zach Ginn channel. Just go to Rick Ginn on YouTube and it should be there. Pretty cool video, but yeah. Let's see here. I'm from Methuen. Where's that at? That is in Massachusetts. All right, cool. If you're watching my social media, Steven, so that's how you find it. Erica, what's up, Erica? Should the title company be local to me, even if the deal's on virtual? So that's another question I get, and I kind of broke that down. Your title company should be where you're virtually locked up the deal. It shouldn't be where you're locally at. It's where you should virtually, because most people are virtually wholesaling out of state. So you got to do it where the state is, those laws, because that's where the property is located. Okay. Do we have to skip trades, cash sales, and property? No, you don't have to. Use TrueBillSearch.com, or you can do other ones. But yeah, there's different ways of doing it, obviously. But yeah, that's probably gonna be the best way here. So, hey, Danny says mostly cash buyers on Facebook groups are bots from India and stuff. Well, hey, Danny, you're probably in the wrong group. If you have a group that actually gets rid of the bots, you'll find the right cash buyers. That's why you got to vet them, right? Like, very, very important. Zach, can you use your contract on land? Yes, on land. I know you're in Texas, so sometimes a little different, Rebecca. You're virtually wholesaling Texas. She's in Alaska right now. So a tad different, right? Margaret says, so before I start wholesaling, do I speak to a real estate attorney in my state first, the state I'm looking to wholesale about? So Margaret, when we basically broke down how to do virtual wholesaling, how to do wholesaling in general, you want to ask the title company if your contract's good, not an attorney, because the title company is more important than the attorney, because the title company is actually going to bring the property through, the actual deal through. So it is super duper uber important that you actually speak to the title company and make sure they're okay with you doing the deal there. Very, very important. Teresa says that's a very good way of putting it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yes. All right. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah. I mean, Zach's right here. You know, Facebook groups are easier and free. And if you do it the right way I'm saying it, it's going to be fine, right? You just don't want to deal with, like, I don't know. You have a lot of bots and stuff. That's why you got to get a proof of funds, obviously, right? And not a fake one. Don't use a proof of funds if it's like a hard money person. Don't use a proof of funds if that proof of funds, quote unquote, person is a hard money lender. If it actually has to be cash in a bank account, it can't be like their funds or something like that. So just FYI for everyone, like, if it's hard money, that's not a cash, right? Oh, I have a lender. It's like, that's not cash. Okay. I don't care getting lending on it. That's not a real estate wholesaling deal. Okay. It's very, very important. It's cash in a bank account on the proof of funds, not a lender. It's not a hard money buyer. This is a cash buyer. Very, very, very important, guys. Cobble Bob sends, once purchase and sale agreement is signed with seller, do you immediately send it to title, or do you have to wait? So once the purchase and sale is signed, you set with the seller, send that immediately to the title company with your EMD. Then find the cash buyer, sign the assignment of contract, then bring it to the title company. So let me say it one more time. Get the property under contract with the seller, bring that contract to the title company, get your $100 EMD, whatever EMD you got, or even zero if that's what you're going to do. Find the cash buyer, walk them through, sign the assignment of contract, bring that assignment of contract to the title company. Cash buyer will bring their earnest money to the title company, and then that is the correct way to do it. Let me know if that's confusing, because I can kind of break that down even more. I bring the whiteboard if I really need to out here for you. Thrillic says, I live in New Jersey. Do you think I can wholesale because housing? Yeah, I mean, it's a little higher. I would do the 50-50 approach, which is basically virtually wholesaling 50% of your time out of state in a market you're good with, and then wholesaling in person on, quote unquote, a market that is a little better for virtual wholesaling. That's kind of my favorite way of doing it there. Let's see here. Awesome. Can't wait to see you, Nicole. Can't wait to see Thrillex there. V-Red says, would it be a conflict of interest to team up with my mom, who's a realtor? If she's finding a buyer, I don't really see an issue with that. I really don't see an issue with it. I don't think so, but I don't think you're having an issue there. So the questions we got. All right. Let's see. Is Franklin, Virginia a good place to wholesale? Let me check out Franklin, Virginia. Franklin, Virginia, Hampton Roads, great market. I love Hampton Roads area is a really good market. It's amazing. I like it. Somehow my search engine got switched to Yahoo, which terrible. Got to make a Google. Oh, how it does that sometimes. But all right, let's get rid of you. Get rid of this one. All right, cool. Chrome sometimes does that. I don't know why Chrome does that. It's so stupid. All right, Jason says, how would I virtually sell to a buyer if I don't have boots on the ground? Get boots on the ground or have the buyer just walk through the property if you really have to. Really not a big fan of that. Tell everyone I do not like that. That's never a good thing to be doing, but hey, you can if you really want to, right? What time is the Zoom? Central time. So that will be 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, 4:30 Mountain, and then 3:30 on the Pacific. David says, what happens when a property may have liens? So that's a really good question. I get that question a lot. If a property has liens, then it's just going to minus off the liens on the proceeds. So for example, let's say a property is worth let's say guys can tell it's a lie, right? You could put a property under contract for $100,000. If there is a $1,000 lien on the property, that lien will be paid at closing from the buyer. That means the buyer is expecting to make $100K, but there's a lien. They'll get $99,000 at the end of the day. So that's really it. And how it works with the assignment fee is if you locked up for 100, you sell it for 120, you're making 20,000 profit. The cash buyer is going to give 120,000 to the title company. 20,000 goes to you in the assignment. $100,000 goes to the cash buyer. But title company says with $1,000 lien, so they give 99,000. So for example, 120K. Cash buyer gives the title company, 20,000 goes to you, $99,000 goes to the seller, and then $1,000 the title company pays off that lien. That's how it all works. So yeah, actually looking at it, it's gonna be probably 6:30 Eastern for that. So yeah. What's up, Juan? Thank you so much for everything. Learning a lot. I'm super excited to get my first deal. Juan, I believe in you that you get your first real estate wholesaling deal. Love it. What's up, Alex? I'll be on the Zoom, but I have a house under contract. Hey, Jose, I get it, man. Best of both worlds, right? Love it, love it, love it. Brandon, great question. Hey, Zach, do you get a verbal agreement or a signed agreement before doing a walkthrough? So yes, I get a verbal. I don't sign anything without them actually looking at it, obviously. But what I could tell you is I get a verbal that they're okay with that price with pictures, and they actually see a little video of the house, and then they walk through because walkthroughs are so valuable. You don't want to waste a walkthrough. Like you only get 2 or 3 walkthroughs on a property really before sellers get really sick of it. So you want to keep them. They're very valuable. You don't want to waste them. So I always think it's very important you don't waste it. So yes, the verbal agreement, I always get that with the cash buyer before the price, right? And I always make it a formality, quote unquote, the walkthrough, right? Joey Vasquez says, I'm a couple hours south of Port St. Lucie. I've been taking notes. Hopefully I can do something down here in my market. Go Dolphins. Go Dolphins. Jose might need to renegotiate the contract. All right. Well, yeah, I can actually help you with the ARV if you need help with it. ARV is pretty simple to be doing. You just gotta look at comps. So Devontae, what's up? Devontae asks here, hey, Zach, I had a guy try to teach me reverse wholesaling, but it intimidates me because I don't have a deal under contract from the seller. Is there a way you do an in-depth video on reverse? So reverse wholesaling is at freewholesaling.com, I believe, or you just search reverse wholesaling space flip with Rick. Let me actually get the video. Devontae, if you're on YouTube, it'll actually be in the live comments. So let me go here and actually show you. Wholesaling flip with Rick. Let's see what reverse wholesaling is. I think it's in freewholesaling.com, but not 100% sure here. Let me see. Reverse wholesaling. Reverse wholesaling real estate. Flip with Rick. It's somewhere on here. I can't find it on search for some reason, but whatever. You just got to go actually out here and just go to freewholesaling.com. It should be in there. Any strategies to deal with sellers who will not budge from their asking price, even after I tell them about the comps? Yeah. At the end of the day, you can't force a deal. I think that's one problem a lot of people in wholesaling real estate honestly have. They try to force a real estate wholesaling deal. And from my experience, all of my experiences, honestly, you cannot force a real estate wholesaling deal. So if the seller just won't budge on it, you cannot force that deal. I never force it on them. If they're not comfortable with that price, I'm not going to force them to do it. Sometimes you just got to keep following up until they have the motivation enough where they want to sell for a discount, right? I believe you don't need a 99% chance you don't need a license to do Berks County and Delaware County in Pennsylvania. They have a big RIA there, so just ask them there, and they can help you out a little more there. Just maybe your contractor has a few homes they can refer you to. That always works too. So JLC is a really good question. How do you get the most money for your assignment from the cash buyer? In my personal experience, if you want to get the most money possible from your cash buyer, you're going to have the best quality buyer. So like I showed you the cash buyer tiers there. You're going to want to find somebody that's not flipping a lot of houses that will kind of overpay. They're okay making less on the flip. And those are people that just buy less flips, right? Realtors is another really good way, but having more buyers to send the deal to. If you send it to 10 buyers, you're going to get a good amount. But like if you have 10 buyers, but you send it to 100 buyers and they're all vetted and really good, guess what's going to happen? There's one of those people are willing to overpay for the house or pay more than the other people. And that works, right? If I'm selling that people who are hiking, they're thirsty. If you get more buyers, someone's willing to pay for it's supply and demand. So if you get more demand from having more buyers, you'll eventually find someone who is wanting to sell it or buy it for more money. So guys, overall, that is my free wholesaling dispositions guide, my cash buyers guide. Even you pay me $5,000, I'd give you the same information. So that being said, do me a big favor and smash the like button and subscribe. Go to freewholesaling.com. All the knowledge is on there. The 30-day wholesaling challenge replays are on freewholesaling.com. And last but not least, go to Wholesaling Houses for on Facebook, join the group, and on there is going to be the Zoom link. Hop on there, talk to me one-on-one. We're going to do a private one on there. Replay might be posted on there. I'm not sure yet. But as of today, definitely no one's going to be able to watch that Zoom live unless you're in the Zoom. And that's going to be kind of cool. And it'll be private. You do some networking in there. It'll be really fun. So a lot of networking on there. The reason why I like that too is because maybe if I can only be there for 1, 2, 3 hours, I can leave and you guys can still network on the Zoom, and it brings people together. No gurus allowed in there. So I think that's pretty cool. So you guys go to freewholesaling.com if you want to learn wholesaling for free. We got questions on there. Let me know. Love talking to you guys one-on-one. AO Chronicle from work watching. I love all these people on here. So pretty cool, guys. But a lot of these questions, if you have them, I try to put them in the YouTube comments. Ask them on the lives. I appreciate it. I'm trying my best to answer all the comments. I'm getting a ton of comments recently and a little more than time I have available. But I'm trying my best on there. And that's it. So guys, go to freewholesaling.com. We'll see you soon. I appreciate it. And that's it, I believe. Do we have any more announcements? Next week. So guys, we're still doing our live streams on here. So let me pop up the schedule we got. So recorded video Saturday, recorded video Sunday. Next live is going to be on the 28th. So next Tuesday. And then recorded video Wednesday, Thursday. And then guess what? Next Friday. So next week is the end. That's going to be July 1st. That's when we're going to do our big 30-day wholesaling challenge spectacular. And then we're going to go to the giveaways on the PropStream and then more giveaways on everyone else. So guys, do me a favor, freewholesaling.com. Appreciate it. And remember, guys, if you got your first real estate wholesaling deal in the challenge, just email support@flipwithrick.com, the information on there. I know, for example, we worked with Fernando, got his first deal. He's he's a winner in the challenge. So he's going to win something. I don't know what he's going to win, but he could win free PropStream for a year. I don't know, but it will be in the giveaway there. So just do me a favor, email me support@flipwithrick.com that you're a winner. Just put winner on the subject line and show me the actual contract, the deal you actually got done, and then you'll be a winner on there. So guys, do me a favor, smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see most of you guys on the